Did you know that Philly, shout out to Leland Brown, I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Did you know that Philly is now being labeled as Philadelphia? Is that new? Oh, I am not familiar with that. Somebody from Philly tell me, is Philadelphia a new word, or is that something that's just really starting to catch on? You from Pittsburgh, born and raised, there's nothing wrong with these changes, and you're not biased. Thank you, Darrell Robinson. I appreciate you. Have they been calling Philadelphia, or is that a new thing? Because the news, they said no Philly slander. This ain't slander. We just gonna talk about Philly. We're gonna go Pittsburgh, Philly, New York. Philadelphia is not new. That's old West Philly native. That dude that's super old. Ooh, that's not good. Been around for a long time. Okay, I've never visited Philly. Of all of the different cities that I visited in my lifetime, I personally have never been to Philly. So I appreciate the chat, because y'all got to understand that here over at the Millionaire Morning Show, chat lives matters. Chat lives matters. And so I lean into my people in the chat so that they can help me to understand exactly what I need to understand and what I shouldn't understand, because I know that all of my audience and everybody that's watching this show is all over the United States of America. They all over the world. They're in Europe. They're in Canada. They're everywhere. Okay, they say it's the city of brotherly love, not with being named Philadelphia. All right, so let me bring y'all to the front of the congregation. Shout out to Philly. So this is what's happening in Philly right now, giving y'all a recent update. There's been a lot of bus stop shootings. What is up with bus stop shootings? What's up with bus stop shootings in Philly? It's like y'all got a theme going on right now, like, we're going to shoot up the bus stop where all of the high school students are. Why is that a thing? Why is bus stop shootings a thing? They've recently rounded up a fourth suspect in bus stop shootings. Take a look.
Developments this afternoon in the investigation into last week's mass shooting at a bus stop in Burholm. Authorities have now publicly identified the fourth suspect wanted in connection with that shooting that left 8 teenagers hurt. Action News reporter Annie McCormick live at police headquarters now with the latest on that search today. Annie?
Yeah, and Brian, the U.S. Marshals are now offering a $5,000 reward. They're also sending a warning.
Hold on, that camera work is lit. I don't know what kind of cameras they got on this for Philly, but Philly, y'all camera work is A1. Let me give y'all a round of applause for that. I got to rewind it just to catch the camera work. Y'all look at the camera work in Philly.
Search today. Annie?
Ooh,
yeah, Brian, the U.S.
HD
Marshals
like
are now
a mug.
offering a $5,000 reward. They're also sending a warning to anybody who is helping 17-year-old Asir Boone, the fourth suspect that is still at large. If anyone is helping him, that they too will be prosecuted.
Today, the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force released this wanted poster of 17-year-old Asir Boone with a $5,000 reward.
Let me just say this. If anybody has seen Asir Boone, and you want to make an extra $5,000, think how far that $5,000 can go. You ain't got to bust it down for a real one. Yeah, you going to have your rent paid at least for the next few months. Kids ain't got to eat peanut butter sandwiches with no jelly. Ham with no burger. You can get you some new bread. You ain't got to eat the ends. Listen, if you ain't never ate the ends of the bread because you know you was hungry. I know some of y'all had syrup sandwiches. I never had a syrup sandwich before, but I heard people saying syrup sandwiches. If y'all seen this young man, wanted, 17-year-old, make sure that you call the Philadelphia police so that you can collect your $5,000. His name is Asir Boone. Asirboone. Asir Boone. If you see this man and your daughter is harboring him, trying to protect him, know that one of two options can happen. Either he's going to be getting your daughter in trouble because you're harboring a fugitive, or you can collect $5,000 and pass go and go and get yourself some new bread. Not eat the ends, but let's get it.
Attached.
The family is very aware that we are looking for our fourth suspect. They were somewhat cooperative. We are hopeful they do the right thing.
Last night, they issued a warning to his family and to the suspect. You have until Wednesday morning to turn yourself in. That deadline came and went. Investigators believe Boone is one of 4 young men connected.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that quad. Quad City DJs. Y'all ain't never heard of the Quad City DJs? That's back in the day. That's back in the 90s. Quad City DJs. Look at this. They keep getting mad at Anton because I keep telling these young guys, hey, clean up your image. The devil is in your hair. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to look raggedy. You don't want to be out here looking like no crazy man. You're going to get mistaken for a seer Boone. I told a guy a little while ago, probably sometime last year, I said, hey, man, you got to clean up your hair, bro. You're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to do things differently. Look at him. Carter, arrested. Tucker, arrested. Bugs, shout out to Bugs, arrested. Boone, wanted. Yeah. I said, cut your hair, young man. Cut your hair, young man. And I want y'all to, if y'all had to guess which one was gonna be telling, who's a snitch? Who's a snitch in this? Who told on Asir Boone and that he was the 4th suspect? I vote Carter. I think that if you give Carter a corned beef sandwich and some Coke, extra pickle, mayonnaise, no mayonnaise, mustard, Russian, corned beef sandwich, mustard, Russian, sauerkraut, I think that Carter is the one that's telling.
To last Wednesday's shooting that injured 8 Northeast High School students at a SEPTA bus stop along Cottman Avenue in Burlholme. Yesterday afternoon, marshals and Philadelphia police took the 3rd suspect, 19-year-old Jermod Carter, into custody.
That's the snitch.
Investigators say intel led them to the 12,000 block of Academy Road in Northeast Philadelphia. On Monday, investigators announced the arrest of the first 2 suspects, 18-year-old Jamal Tucker and 18-year-old Anil Buggs.
These ain't kids, y'all. These is monsters. I just want to let y'all know that.
Court records revealed Buggs contacted an inmate at the Pine Grove prison a day after the Cottman Avenue shooting to talk about another teen who had been shot to death 2 days prior. Police have said they're still working to determine whether the mass shooting was possibly connected to the murder of an Imhotep charter high school student, 17-year-old Damon Taylor, at a SEPTA bus stop in the Ogon section.
Y'all out here running it up in Philly like that? High schools is gang meetings, gang meetups. Y'all not going to school so that y'all can learn. Y'all going to school so that y'all can get them switches together so y'all can put it on y'all Glocks and be able to go out there and take care of y'all enemies at the bus stop. Ain't nobody even driving. They just doing walk-bys at the bus stop now. Jesus Christ. Anyways, furthermore, this is also what happened in Philadelphia over the last 24 hours. A Philadelphia rapper named Phat G's. Have y'all ever heard of Phat G's? His family said that he had a heart of gold, but he was killed over in Philadelphia.
Derek Gant, who went by the rap name Phat G's, was shot several times last night in Brewery Town. CBS Philadelphia reporter Carrie Corrado spoke with his family tonight.
The family of the young rapper says they just want to know why. They say he just released a song called No Gun Zone in hopes to help stop the gun violence in the city.
Now you have a whole family that's just broken. They took something away from us that was valuable.
The family of Derek Gant, also known as rapper Phat G's, says they are a close-knit family. They gave us this picture, and while they are devastated at his loss, they remember the endless times he brought a smile to their faces.
He had a heart of gold.
The biggest smile, the biggest hug, the biggest kisses, you know. He was a very, very genuine cousin.
Just to grow up in the streets of Philadelphia and dare to be different is who he was. He took a chance on his own self when nobody else would.
Police say Gant was shot and killed Sunday night on the 1200 block of Taney Street. They say they are still searching for the person responsible.
And justice will be served. This is the holiest month of Ramadan. He was Muslim. So we know that he's in paradise, but when it comes down to it, we still are left here in grief.
Hey, them glasses are sick, though. Whatever glasses that those are, I want them. I want them. I don't know what kind of glasses these are. Let me take a picture of these. Whatever glasses that these are right here, I want them. These mugs is dope. Get a picture of that. Send this to my guy. Make sure he go ahead and secure those for me.
In shock and disbelief. How dare you? How can you go to sleep at night knowing that you did that to somebody senselessly?
His cousin read the words from his newly released song, No Gun Zone.
Got your mama mourning while they do her son wrong. Hate to see you on the ground with all that blood going. And to read those words and to experience it, it hurt. It's not fair. You know?
Those is Armani's. Somebody
We
find
gonna
out what those
grieve.
glasses are.
We gonna mourn, and we mourn for all of the other young men in the community as well. Not just us. Not
Somebody
just our
find them
family.
glasses for me and
The
tell me
family
what
says
they
they
are.
will lean on each other and their strong values as they move forward.
We keep that same love. We keep that same compassion, that same dignity, that same respect for others. We keep that there, but we don't forget.
Carrie.
So that's what's happening in Philly. And so recently Fox News did an interview with somebody over in Philadelphia in order to better understand what was going on and to ask him, how do you solve for the issues and the crime that's happening within the communities, the bus stops, right? Even Phat G's recently released a song called No Gun Zone, right? Where he was trying to uplift the community and go back into the community, and the community ultimately killed him. How do you solve for this? And so this is what he had to say.
Andre Boyer is an agent with the group Site, and he joins us again. Our apologies for the technical difficulties. Andre, what is your message for parents?
Jesse, here in Philadelphia, first I want to say this. I love our mayor, Mayor Parker, and I love our commissioner. They only been in the job 2.5 months, and they have done more than the previous mayor has done in the last 8 years he was in charge.
Okay.
That is awesome, the things that they're doing now. Now, what's going on in Philadelphia, I say, parents and the citizens of Philadelphia, stop relying on the police commissioner to solve your gun problems. Stop relying on the mayor to handle your gun problems. Parents, you know what you have to do. Go in your children's rooms, tear it apart. These guns are not in the school locker. These guns are not hidden under a brick. They're in your houses. They're in your houses. You are the guardian of your castle. Go through your child's room, you find a gun, pick up the phone, call 911, and have the guns taken out of your house. If you don't, you're going to be burying your child. Because I can tell you this right now, city of Philadelphia, it's really the city of Philadelphia. And I'm sorry to call it that, but that is what it is. You've had a couple of, just what it was, not even 2 weeks ago, 40 rounds at a bus stop. And in the last 4 days, a bus stop has been, a SEPTA bus stop has been shot up. Just yesterday, a McDonald's on Torresdale Ave was robbed at gunpoint. We have to do something. Enough is enough, and you can't rely on city council, the mayor, and the commissioner. They cannot do it alone. Parents, it is your responsibility. That is your child. That is your child. That is your house. It is your responsibility to stand up and check your children and check your rooms, because these guns are in that house. I want the citizens, the young people to say, hey, we got to stop. Enough is enough, but it takes more than just the police department. They can't do it alone.
You're right.
It takes more than the mayor and her resources. It takes the citizens, the people must do their part too.
That's right. It's a
Hold on. Can we get a round of applause for that gentleman? I can't lie. I've been saying this for a long time. I said, listen, if the black community really wanted to solve the issues within our own culture, I'm glad that somebody else had the balls to say it. If the black community wanted to solve, or not even just the black community, if any community wanted to solve the issues within our own culture, we already know how. We have the tools, we have the know-how, we have the understanding, and guess what? We know who the killers are, we know who the dealers are, we know who the pimps are, We know who the people that continue to populate the community and continue to have sex with all of the women and impregnating them are. We know where the prostitution are. We know who the hoes are. We know where the dope houses are. We know where the trap houses are. I know a lot of y'all don't like to say dope houses because that's an old school term, but we got the new school terms, the trap houses. We know every single thing that's happening within our own culture and community, and we know who the ones are poisoning it. We know who the bad parents are. We know who going to be for the streets. We already know who going to be doing the work. We know who killed who. We know who to call to find out what happened when something happens. Every last one of us know exactly what is happening within our own communities. And guess what? We do absolutely nothing about it, but then we'll march as soon as we see a police officer overstep their boundaries and exert too much force. Then it's Black Lives Matters all of a sudden. Man, come on, bro. I know when my daughter blinked the wrong way, what's going on with her. I know when my daughter blinked the wrong way, what's going on with her. I was looking at her yesterday. Let me talk to you for a minute. Let me ask you some questions. Went in her room, just laid in her bed, sat there, talked. She put her her gold medal that she just recently got over in Costa Rica over the weekend. And we just kicked it, and she just told me every little thing that was on her heart. And it all started off with just a little question. Me ribbing her, and I said, why your mama know so much more about you now than me? What, you ain't no daddy's girl no more? And then she started laughing. She fell into my arms. She started telling me all of her little problems and her little issues, and it was so small and silly. You know who your daughter is. You see me wearing it on the Q show last night. It was dope, wasn't it, Spaces? You know who your kids are. We know who the bad kid is and the one that got the bad attitude. We know who the good kid is, and we know who Kane is. We know who Abel is. And your neighbors know who it is too. Your neighbors know who it is too. You know where the weed smoke is coming from. You already know. And so because we refuse to actually take accountability for what's going on in our own culture, in our own community, this is what we got to subject ourselves to. Your kid, the good kid, is sitting at the bus stop trying to figure out how they're going to get to school in the morning because you trying to work overtime to make sure that you prepare and provide for them and make sure that they ain't got to pay student loans when they go to college. And then you come back in the morning and then your kid got hit with an extra bullet that wasn't even intended for him because somebody knew a monster and they knew the monster was there and had the guns, but they never did anything about it. Shout out to this young man for spitting that truth. Spitting that truth. Not my truth, not his truth, but the truth. Shout out to that young man for spitting that truth.